Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, scholars and dignitaries, welcome to another episode. Welcome to my world.
Hello, friends. So, there's an old saying that there are only two certainties in the world, death and taxes. And to be honest, I'm not sure which is worse. I think it's death. But at the rate we're going, I'm seeing more and more people suffer, and suffer long term, inadvertently, because of the excess and increases in taxes. For instance, there's a great meme out there about taxes that reads, if you earn money, you pay an income tax. If you live somewhere, a property tax. If you spend your money, a sales tax. If you save your money, an interest tax. If you invest your money, a capital gains tax. If you own a business, a corporate tax. If your business has employees, a payroll tax. If you plan on retirement, a Social Security tax. If you give your money away, a gift tax. If you die, an inheritance tax. And that's not all. If you drive a car, you pay a gas tax to help maintain the roads. There are transportation taxes on flying, customs taxes, import taxes, and special taxes on liquor and cigarettes. Then there are fees, a water and sewer fee, a fee to use state and national parks, a toll fee for the state highways, a fee to get a driver's license, a fee to register your car, a fee to get married, a fee for a building permit, a fee to get a fishing permit, a fee to get a hunter's license, public parking, fees for government inspections, fees for government documents, fees for mortgages, fees for home inspections, landing fees for airports, waste disposal fees, fees for mail services, for telephone and utilities, and the list goes on. And as such, over 60% of Americans feel that they are paying too much in taxes and fees, and interestingly, it's only about 60%. I would have thought it would have been far greater. And according to one article, more than a third of those who get refunds on their year-end income tax submissions won't be using it for fun or special purchases, but to make ends meet, like paying existing bills or for food or clothing. And that's sad, especially because those making under $50,000 a year are the least able to save or invest money. We pay taxes to fund our federal, state, and local governments so they can function properly and provide necessary services, especially in the areas of health, safety, and welfare, like our police departments. Each particular government has its particular focus and needs, with the big picture spending on things like defense and Social Security placed in the hands of the federal government. So, without the power to tax, government services would go way down, and social stability and related benefits like roads and schools, police departments, and water treatment plants would either cease to exist or at the very least cease to be stable and reliable. So, as painful as taxes are, as Oliver Wendell Holmes said, it is the price of civilization. And in America, where we have a progressive tax structure, where the average tax burden increases as income increases, high-income families do pay a disproportionate share of the tax burden as compared to low and middle-income earners, which pay a relatively smaller tax burden. In theory, they can handle the larger taxes easier, and yet everyone does feel the pinch of taxes, especially as taxes continue to increase across virtually every category. So I'm not saying that taxes are unnecessary, in fact just the opposite. What I am saying, however, is that taxes and fees are accelerating too high and too fast, and let me give you a very real example. Take an elderly couple that bought a house and lived there for 30 or even 40 years. They paid off their mortgage years ago and now are living on their monthly Social Security payments and perhaps a small pension. Well, in the event that one spouse dies, that income is immediately cut in half. Yet, the surviving spouse is expected to continue to live in that house and pay a property and school tax that can easily exceed $10,000 or even $15,000 a year. Perhaps he or she could afford that when there were two incomes, but now that person is going to lose their home, their family home, perhaps the only home they've known, for no other reason than taxes. And believe me, it's happening every day. The elderly are being displaced, not because of banks per se, but because they have fallen behind on their taxes. And to me, that is a crime. Taxes and fees are necessary evils. We understand that. But government officials, Both local, state, and federal have a responsibility and ethical obligation to not frivolously use tax dollars for anything that isn't necessary, for anything that isn't fully justified, and that doesn't have a true effect to support and raise the health, safety, and welfare of the community. Hey, be safe, be well, and pay your taxes, but make sure you voice your concerns to the appropriate parties if your taxes go much higher, and may God bless.